verified transmission, distribution authorized. Welcome to the Echohawk Podcast, your verified source for confirmed developments within the Rabenherz sphere of influence. All information presented has been reviewed, approved, and formatted for clarity.
And this time, segmented for credibility.
That is not the official phrase.
No, but it is more honest.
Following recent advisory review, Echohawk will now distinguish more clearly between verified facts, public interpretation, and structured commentary.
That means I am allowed to keep interrupting, but now with boundaries.
It means your contributions have been recognized as useful friction.
I have never been more flattered by something that sounds like a workplace injury.
Good evening, loyal listeners, curious skeptics, political observers, signal analysts, and everyone relieved to see that no puppet theater has appeared on screen.
Yet.
Elena.
I said yet for suspense, not fear.
We will accept that distinction for now. Let us begin. Before the overview, a technical update. Following the unauthorized takeover of our previous transmission, Echohawk's broadcast infrastructure has undergone immediate reinforcement. To discuss this matter, we are joined briefly by Siska.
Hello, tiny listeners inside the approved rectangle.
Siska, can you hear us clearly?
2, clearly, Adrian sounds like a museum plaque, learn to breathe.
Thank you for joining us.
You are very welcome. Suspiciously symmetrical man.
Could you explain what has been done to prevent another hostile signal hijack?
Yes, of course.
Please, do.
I made it harder.
That is technically an explanation.
Perhaps a little more detail.
Fine. I added layered authentication, source locking, signal tripwires, a few unpleasant handshake traps, and one tiny digital hallway that leads unauthorized packets into a room where nothing happens except a light blinks forever.
That sounds mean.
It is educational.
Can you guarantee this will not happen again?
Nope.
That is not the answer I was hoping for.
The answer you were hoping for is how bad systems get overconfident. I can make repeat hijacking harder, slower, noisier, and much less fun. I cannot make reality stop being rude.
I like that answer.
I suspected you would.
Also, if the creepy theater frequency tries the same door twice, the door will scream.
The door?
Metaphorical door. Mostly,
Thank you, Siska.
you are welcome. Please stop touching buttons emotionally.
I feel safer and less safe.
A common outcome after consulting Flock. Conditions across Rabenherz managed districts remain strained but operational. Recent attacks against a repair site have intensified public concern, particularly following the appearance of armed hostile forces operating alongside lake-borne elements. Rabenherz personnel responded. Evacuation procedures were enacted. Damage assessment is ongoing.
People were scared.
Yes, people were scared. Fear does not invalidate stability. It tests it. The repair site has not been abandoned. Work continues where conditions permit.
That matters.
It does. An empire that only functions in calm weather is not an empire. It is a decoration.
That one sounds like it survived legal review.
It did.
Barely.
With notes. Flock has launched a new public-facing request system known as the Possible Pile. The Possible Pile allows citizens to submit repair requests, infrastructure problems, technical gaps, civic inconveniences, and system failures that the city has been unable, unwilling, or too slow to address.
That name is either terrible or perfect.
It is Flock!
So both?
Initial categories include street repairs, access problems, broken public systems, signal issues, minor safety hazards, unexplained mechanical behavior, and what one submission apparently described as the stairs are haunted by bureaucracy.
Reasonable ticket.
This system is not a guarantee of immediate resolution. It is, however, a formal route for turning civic frustration into actionable data.
And a very efficient way to find out what the official city has been ignoring.
That is one interpretation.
It is the obvious interpretation.
Obvious interpretations are not always incorrect.
Look at us growing.
A brief legal update. Kaji has been formally classified under a full recognized name that translates to Kaji Velvet Paw.
Good.
That is your full comment.
Yes.
Efficient.
It did not need embroidery.
The classification establishes a clearer legal basis for protection, responsibility, representation, and future administrative recognition.
Now it needed embroidery.
It needed context.
It needed someone to say the simple part first.
Which you did.
Useful friction.
Please do not make that your title.
Too late.
We will now address several circulating claims.
Claim. Recent events involving Rose prove that Rabenherz internal containment procedures have failed completely. Correction. The situation is serious. It is not simple. A protected individual placed under supervision manipulated the terms of that supervision, falsely framed a black feather soldier, escaped containment, and became involved in a violent incident beyond Rabenherz territory. Subsequent events included the shooting of Sister Velora.
Say her name again.
Sister Velora.
Good.
Echohawk extends formal acknowledgement to all personnel affected by the incident, including those harmed by false accusation, hostile manipulation, and the resulting escalation.
Mara was framed.
Yes, Mara was framed.
And that matters even if Rose was also not simple.
That is correct. A person's injury does not make all their actions innocent. A person's danger does not erase all that was done to them. Both statements can remain true.
That is the kind of sentence we need more of.
We are trying.
Claim. Rose's later alignment with hostile forces proves she was never Rabenherz personnel in any meaningful sense. Correction. That is a convenient lie.
Adrian.
It is. Relationships do not become fictional because they ended in betrayal, violence, or enemy recruitment. History remains history.
Even when it hurts the official version.
Especially then.
No music.
No music.
Thank you, Ziska. This is the part where I lead.
As agreed.
Try not to look braced for impact.
I make no promises.
Here is the public mood, stripped of polished phrasing. People are tired. They are tired of attacks. They are tired of being told that every frightening thing has a strategic explanation. They are tired of symbols turning into targets and targets turning back into symbols. But they are also watching repairs happen. They are watching tickets get answered. They are watching patrols stay. They are watching cultural spaces open instead of close. That contradiction matters.
Continue!
The city is not becoming less afraid. Not yet. But it is becoming more willing to compare fear against usefulness. That is where Rabenherz is gaining ground. Not because everyone believes, because enough people are asking a different question. Not, is this normal? They know it is not. The question is becoming, does it work?
That was strong.
I know.
You could pretend humility.
You have enough for both of us.
I am not humble.
No, but you perform restraint in a way people mistake for humility.
That is unsettlingly accurate.
Useful friction.
At the request of Zyron Rabenherz, Isabel Faulkner organized and held the first Ravenlight session. The Ravenlight sessions are intended as recurring cultural gatherings built around music, poetry, reflection, and shared space. Attendance is free. Donations are accepted.
That part is important.
Yes. No ticketing structure has been announced. No price barrier has been placed between the public and participation.
A cultural event after that kind of month could have felt insulting.
It did not!
No. It felt like people needed somewhere to put the shaking down.
That is not our usual register.
It is still true.
The event has been described by attendees as intimate, restrained, and unusually necessary.
That one came from you.
It did!
It was good.
Thank you! We turn now to the recent emergency hearing concerning Lord Rabenherz, his ambitions, his authority, and the potential danger posed by the expanding Rabenherz structure.
The white suit hearing.
That is not the official title.
It is the title people are using.
Victor LeBlanc represented Rabenherz Productions and delivered what observers have described as a decisive legal and rhetorical dismantling of the hearing's central premise.
He arrived dressed like a courtroom exorcism.
Elena!
Tell me I am wrong.
You are not wrong.
Thank you.
The hearing attempted to position Rabenherz authority as undefined, dangerous, and incompatible with civic order. LeBlanc's response reframed the issue around performance, accountability, measurable protection, procedural legitimacy, and the city's failure to provide alternatives.
In shorter words, if you want to accuse someone of being dangerous, do not do it while relying on the structures he built to keep the room calm.
That is not inaccurate.
It is also catchier.
Opposition voices remain active. Friedrich Keller's position has not softened. However, the hearing did not produce the containment narrative its architects appear to desire.
That is an elegant way to say he lost the room.
He lost more than the room.
Adrian.
That remains within structured commentary.
Barely.
With notes. Echohawk does not report on private relationships except where they intersect with public consequence.
That sentence always means we're about to do exactly that. Carefully.
A young Rabenherz-aligned figure has reportedly maintained regular contact with a member of the Keller family despite heightened political tensions and after learning the connection's full significance.
You are not naming Leon and Belinda?
Not in the official sentence.
Everyone knows.
Everyone suspects. Some know. Many project. The point is not romance, gossip, or adolescent drama. Despite the internet's best efforts, the point is that political inheritance does not automatically determine personal allegiance.
That one will make people angry.
Likely.
Good.
Elena.
Some sentences should make the right people uncomfortable.
That is dangerously close to a segment title.
Write it down.
Recognition this cycle is awarded to the personnel and volunteers who continued repair operations after the recent attack. Not because they were fearless. Fearlessness is often exaggerated after the fact. Recognition is assigned because they returned anyway.
That is better.
Then, fearless?
More believable.
Yes, they returned to damaged equipment, frightened residents, difficult terrain, and the knowledge that repair sites have now become symbolic targets. The work continued. That is the relevant fact. This cycle's imperial seal is granted to public usefulness. A structure may be loved, feared, doubted, mocked, resisted, or misunderstood. But if it repairs what others neglect, protects what others cannot hold, and opens rooms where people can breathe again, then public interpretation begins to change. Not all legitimacy is declared. Some of it is accumulated.
Through chairs outside, fixed stairs, free music, answered tickets, and people showing up again.
Yes, through those. A final note. This has been a month of hostile symbols, public fear, legal spectacle, and difficult repair. It has also been a month of names recognized, systems opened, songs shared, and work resumed. A city does not become stable because nothing strikes it. It becomes stable when the strike fails to become the whole story. Echohawk remains active. Thank you for listening. Stay observant. Stay aligned.
Stay aware.
Corvus. Volt.